Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to talk about 5 things that I love about leopard geckos, because recently I talked about 5 things that I hate about leopard geckos, and so I thought, oh my god, the white street frogs. So I thought it'd be a good companion video to have 5 things that I hate and 5 things that I love. Before we get started, I ask that you please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also, please consider checking us out down below on Patreon, social media, and our merch. With all that said, let's go ahead and get started. Number 1, they're adorable faces. Leopard geckos have very cute faces. They have movable eyelids. They have a lot of character in their eyes. They look like they're smiling all the time. They're just absolute cuties. They look almost like they understand what you're saying when you talk to them. Well, I'm sure I'm not the only person who talks to my leopard geckos. I hope not. When you compare leopard geckos with other reptiles who have a bit more of like a serious face, they look so fun and silly, you know? Number 2, I love that leopard geckos, for the most part, have friendly personalities. I'm talking to you, Liana. When I say for the most part, I'm speaking about Liana, because she's not friendly. But for the most part, leopard geckos are very friendly. They're not gonna bite you. A lot of times they want to interact with you. They're cool to like walk around and explore with you. They're also cool to just sit and vibe with you. In general, pretty friendly reptiles. Like I said, there are exceptions. My vet has seen some of those exceptions. My vet, whenever I bring a leopard gecko to her, she's like, oh, thank God it's not one of those, you know, really aggressive leopard geckos. She goes, sometimes they put up more of a fight than like the bigger reptiles you would think that would be putting up more of a fight. But actually, I took my gecko Viserys to the vet recently, and she said he was the best behaved leopard gecko that she ever saw. And someone had the audacity in the comments to be like, your vet is just telling you that because it's your vet and they want more service. My vet has seen many of my leopard geckos, and Viserys is the only one she's ever said that about. So let's keep it clear, okay? Viserys is a special case. He's a very lovely boy. Number 3, leopard geckos are relatively easy to keep. I say this not in that I think people should keep them more minimally, because I believe that they should have big enclosures, enrichment, UVB, yada yada. But I say this because some reptiles are a lot harder to keep. Given the size of a leopard gecko, even with how active they can be, you don't need something bigger than like 40 gallons to be able to give them enough room to walk around, to climb, to really engage with their environment, to dig, to bask, to use humid hides. Like 40 gallons is a really great size for a leopard gecko. 40 gallons, however, is not a really great size for a lot of other reptiles. And so I think it's great that they're a reptile that you can keep like above and beyond, and it's still easy compared to other reptile species. They also are pretty forgiving when it comes to husbandry mistakes, which I think is why they get labeled as a beginner pet very often. But I appreciate this as especially someone who has so many of them. While at this point in my reptile keeping, I don't make too many mistakes. I definitely did when I was earlier on, and because leopard geckos are quite forgiving compared to other reptiles, I was able to learn those mistakes without paying heavy consequences. Leopard geckos can also do really well regardless of the type of setup that you have. Some people will choose like a sterile environment, and while some people will say that's not enriching, leopard geckos can do well in that environment. It's not personally what I would use unless I had to, but for someone who is new to keeping, it's okay. The same goes for having like a fully bioactive setup with live plants and substrate. A leopard gecko can do really well in that setup as well. It's really great for a species to be able to... Y'all, these white street frogs are so loud. Like I was saying before, Durian so rudely interrupted me. It's just really great for someone who keeps reptiles to have a species that is kind of easier to keep whichever way you want to keep them. Again, I believe it's best to do that in the most enriching, largest enclosure type of way. I'm just saying I appreciate the versatility of the leopard gecko. Number 4, leopard geckos are tidy and they have small poops. Their poops do not stink. Their poops are small. They poop in the same place every time. Compare that to also a commonly kept reptile, the bearded dragon. Now granted, bearded dragons are a lot bigger, but their poop stinks. And they poop everywhere, and they smear it around, and it's just not a good time. So if you're someone who like doesn't want a particularly messy reptile, leopard geckos are the way to go. Like they will literally poop in the same spot every day, and it's a small little poop every time. And it doesn't stink. Unless your gecko had just pooped and there's not good ventilation in the enclosure or something, I can imagine probably you'll have a smell. But I'm telling you, leopard gecko poop does not stink. And it's amazing. Especially when you compare it to other animals' poop. We can even talk about crested geckos or other New Caledonian species that love to poop and leave long poop streaks down the front of their glass. Not a particularly large poop, but disgusting. And, you know, not in the same spot every time, unless they're like habitual glass poopers, in which I'm so sorry for you. I have one of those and it's pains me. But that's just something I really appreciate about leopard geckos. They're not messy. And number 5, they live a long time. This is something I really appreciate about them because as someone who kept pet rats, the trauma of losing them every 2 to 3 years is horrible. It's not something that you ever really recover from, and it kind of exhausts you of keeping them really quickly. Like, I kept rats for 10 years, and when my last trio died, I was like, nope, I can't. I literally can't do it anymore. Like, it was too stressful to have to constantly be waiting for something bad to happen. But those are 5 things that I love about leopard geckos. This list was much easier to come up with than the list of things I don't like about leopard geckos because as someone who has 40 leopard geckos, oh, I forgot to do a roll call in the beginning. Roll call! Meraxes, Aegon, Tyrion, Theon, Melisandre, Rhaego, Gilly, Merlin, Benjen, Tormund, Marjorie, Rhaenys, Eddard, Viserys, Davos, Elia, Renly, Mira, Kinvara, Tywin, Jorah, Alysanne, Carsey, Viserion, Myrcella, Brienne, Aemon, Arya, Ygritte, Varys, Lyanna, Fritz, Raz, Jojen, Lucerys, Emma. Anyways, as someone who has 40 leopard geckos, clearly if I didn't like them or if the list of things I didn't like outweighed the list of things that I did like, I wouldn't have this many. And truth be told, I didn't plan to have this many. It just kind of happened over time. More and more people just found me and said, I have this disabled gecko. And I was like, of course I can do this. And now I have almost 40. So, and that's okay with me. Just not what I expected. What, uppies? Uppies for the puppies? Oh no, you knocked into the cord. Come on, uppies for the puppies. Hey! Oh, this is JJ. He turned 9 in October, on October 3rd, on Mean Girl or Full Metal Alchemist Day, depending on what your preference is. I like both, personally. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know by leaving a like. Also, please comment, hit the notification bell, and please subscribe. Also, if you could check the links below for Patreon, donation links, merch links, social media, all that jazz, I would appreciate it. And with all that said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Say bye-bye, Jay.